Hi everyone, welcome back to Desired Foods. Today we are making saltfish Accra. Hi everyone, welcome back. So this is my saltfish. So I've bought dry salted and boneless saltfish from Tesco's. You can also pick this up from Sainsbury's as well. So what I'm actually going to do with the saltfish, we need to remove all the salt from the actual saltfish because it's been cured in salt. So I'm going to give this a rinse under cold water and then I'm going to boil it twice. So this is the first boil that I'm doing now. I'll bring it up to boil and then I'll rinse it and do a second lot. Moving on to the mixture that we need, I am putting 1 whole onion into the blender. I'm sorry for the vibrations from the table. I've just realised that that's making my camera jump. Now I'm adding 2 whole scotch bonnets with the seeds in there as well. So I've just taken them out of the freezer and I'm just adding them in. Now if you don't want it too hot, you can just remove the seeds and the white membrane from inside the scotch bonnet pepper, so it won't be too hot for you. Now I'm adding 2 pods of garlic into the mixture. And then I am going to cut up some spring onions and add that into the blender as well. And then we're just going to blend that away. Before I just blend it, I'm just going to add a bit of thyme. You can do this after if you want, but I'm just going to do it now. So I'm popping some thyme in as well, and you can use fresh thyme also. You don't have to use the dried thyme, but I've got it at hand, so I'm using. And then we're just going to give that a little blitz. Now that's all blitzed up, I'll show you how it looks. So it's not too fine and it's not too big. We just want it to be where you can see the bits in there. So that was a clip of me doing the second boil of the saltfish. So now I'm just gonna pop this mixture into a bowl because I'm just gonna use the blender to blend up my saltfish. So now I've drained and run my saltfish under cold water, and I'm just gonna roughly break it up and pop it into the blender now. So I'm just going to blend the saltfish now, and as you can see, I blended it quite fine. It's almost, when the texture and the look of it is almost like it's like fibers, so that's how I like it. You can leave it chunky, you don't have to do it the way that I've done it, so you can just break up the saltfish with your hands if you like, but I like it to be like this so I get an even lot of saltfish throughout each fritter. Now I'm going to add half of the mixture that I made earlier to the saltfish. And remember, do not add any salt to this at all because the saltfish still contains enough amount of salt to salt your whole dish. So now I'm adding some baking powder. Now I'm using baking powder because I'm using plain flour. Now if you're using self-raising, it's absolutely fine and you can still add the baking powder to it, and that baking powder will just make it a bit more fluffy. So now I'm using my homemade green seasoning. I will put a link below to take you to the video that I used to make this green seasoning, so I will put that in the description box for you. So now I'm adding some flour, which is just plain all-purpose flour, and I'm just going to mix that through. So once everything is dusted with your flour, then what we will do once it's incorporated, we are just going to add 1 egg in. I'm going to add a tiny bit of water to help this along, to mix the egg through. And then I'm going to add some more flour. Altogether, I would say that I've used 1 cup of flour. Now I'm slowly going to add water to make my batter. So this is the desired consistency that I want it. So it's a little bit thick, and that's how you want it. And then I'm just going to add some turmeric powder to this now, which will give you a nice golden colour as you're cooking it. So I'm just going to mix that through. And then I'll add a little bit more, I think, that I need. So now to me that is ready. You can put as little as you want or as much as you want in there. So now in a large frying pan I'm going to add some vegetable oil, which I'm just going to heat up. And then I'm using a tablespoon of the measuring spoons just to measure out my fritters, so you get them kind of all the same, because I don't really like them when one's too big, one's too small. So I tend to use the measuring spoon, and I use the tablespoon one. So I'm just going to add in the mixture, so. And then you want to fry them for about a minute before you flip them over. So what you want to do is fry them for about a minute on each side, and then what you're going to do is continuously keep turning them till they are nice and golden. Once they are nice and golden, as you can see here, what we are going to do, we're just going to remove them and place them on some kitchen towel or kitchen paper, and that is your fritters made. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to continue to fry off the rest till your batter is all gone. So here I'm just going to repeat the process again. So again, we're just going to spoon it in, put it for a minute on each side, and then we're going to continuously keep turning till they're nice and golden, and then remove them. So when I started to cook these fritters, it was on a high heat. So what I've done now, I've turned it to a medium to high heat now, because if you turn it too low, it's just going to soak up way too much oil, which you do not want. You want your fritters to be nice, light and crispy. So what I am doing, I am frying them on a medium to high heat. If you feel that the temperature is dropping, then just turn it up a little bit higher, because obviously each cooker is different, but mine is medium to high. So that is your saltfish fritters made. As you can see on the inside, they are nice, light and fluffy, and on the outside they're golden and crisp. If you do like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys.